Welcome into the show. Of course, I am the captain of this podcast, at least for this week. My name is Zach. Along with me, I have our brand new next-gen gamer, Nick.
Howdy, howdy.
What another week it's been. Oh, when so many life experiences that I had that we get to discuss now that we're doing such a show. But to start off, I thought we'd start off with the happy news. Being sports, I'm sorry, friends. That's the way I'm used to starting off. But also, I'm very excited because tonight being Friday night, the day of recording here, my Las Vegas Aces going into Game 4 of the WNBA Finals.
That's right. They are making quite the series there this finals.
A little bit. That is 3-0 right now in the way of the Aces, and a little bit of an uphill climb for the Mercury because they are missing one of their star players for tonight's game as well. So all things are pointing to a sweep for my Aces to capture their third championship trophy in 4 years, I do believe.
That is a wildly good run.
That is a very good run. Funny enough, our own Becky Hammond, who is the coach over there, CSU graduate, go Rams. She is right now, I think she's the all-time winningest coach in playoff history with a 90%.
That's absolutely insane. That's some video game numbers.
It's crazy. It's wild.
That's super impressive. All signs are pointing towards the sweep, but, I wouldn't count any chickens early.
Yeah, can't count the chickens too early, especially from what we've seen.
This is a topic we can circle back to later after sports, but I have at least like 2 or 3 different things that we have put on record and then immediately gone and have reality prove us wrong.
Reality is not always as fun as the dream I live in. But to give you a recap on what's happened thus far, at least for the first 3 games, the last game was the most exciting one that did come down to the wire. Aja Wilson, our MVP, our back-to-back MVP, hit a game winner for that one. The other 2, for the most part, have just I wouldn't say dominant Vegas wins, but they never had the game sort of out of their own control for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, you can't slam dunk every night to coast easy breezy in the finals, you wouldn't hope, but I mean, from a league perspective, you want them to be relatively close games. Ideally,
that would be the thing, but I don't know how I'm feeling a way about the WNBA in general, especially after the coverage that we've had last week.
A lot of people are feeling a lot of ways about the WNBA.
Yeah, rightfully so. But on one hand, I want this to be a successful endeavor. On the other hand, I want my team just to outright win because that just feels good for everybody. And on the other hand, I guess it's on the same hand. I don't really want there to be like a super dramatic ending for this because I want the commissioner to go just so bad.
Sure. And, this is a thing that maybe women's basketball is a little spoiled by because women's hockey has watched league after league come and go and try and be like the staple, this is our premier like professional league, and then just kind of dissolve around their fingers.
So the women's basketball did have that for a while. It happened so early and brief that a lot of people don't even recognize.
The W has been pretty well established for a hot minute.
Yeah, the W has been well established for a while, since the early 2000s, but before that we've had 3 or 4 leagues that come and went. Luckily enough, the WNBA is just a little bit of a sidecar to the NBA, so that I think they've had that advantage to keep them going.
Sure, and I think it's certainly a matter of the market has kind of caught up to them in terms of there are now some other models out on the floor of what women's basketball can look like in a professional setting and what that compensation structure should look like. And kind of hard to argue against the hard evidence that it is very feasible. And why aren't we doing it here?
Because the owners got to get their money. We know this. It's always crazy to me, right, that a lot of people have this struggle of thinking about growth, and it's like the WNBA is not technically like a profitable business quite yet. But the way that someone presented it to me was like, well, if you're an employee of the company, regardless of if the business is profitable or not, you still want to get paid.
Yeah, for sure. That's not your problem if the big wigs can't keep the company afloat. They gave you a contract to pay you X amount of money and let's get it. But yeah, and then I saw something about the estimation on like what the rate of pay is for W players versus the regular NBA.
Oh,
it's where it should, like, if you weighted them relatively equally in terms of what the W's numbers are comparative to the NBA, you would expect the women's numbers to be about a fourth or a fifth of what the men's numbers are, and they are 1/80th.
Yeah.
Of what the men's compensation rate is.
Yeah.
So that seems like a pretty easy bridge to close, like between 80 and 4. We can do better.
There's a lot. I mean, you can do better, but there's a lot of numbers in there between 80 and 4, right? I think they were asking, I think it was like, ideally the minimum is like, can we please get around an average of like 200K, even for the best of the best, the top and the bottom meet there. And they are far from that right now,
which is wild. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, the rookie, like, there's the whole thing about rookie contracts need to be affordable, but the fact that Caitlin Clark and Paige Beckers are playing on 3 years of $80K,
almost minimum wage salary for the most part.
Yeah, like they have college degrees that they could be going and making more money with.
Potentially, yeah, that is an option. A lot of the women have actually stepped out of the game at various times to go pursue other endeavors that were more meaningful to them, but also lucrative.
Yeah, thankfully these two really love basketball and have some other revenue streams from that notoriety of being really good at it too.
I think you mean thank you, Kathy Ebert, for
that's right.
For
my bad.
Yeah,
my bad, Kathy.
You should know better.
I forgot what she did for the game.
She did a lot.
Yeah.
Let's talk about like I said, there's dreams and then there's a reality. How excited are we for the second announcement or the second decision that LeBron James did this week?
Oh boy, color me surprised that it was an ad drop.
I am actually a little shocked, but also I had hope.
There was so many things of like, he had already like signed his option or whatever. He was locked in for the 2 more years. Why is it coming right before the start of the league? Like, none of it added up to an actual roster move.
Not a good taste in most people's mouths. I had this whole, like, I was waiting for this day to come, and then I was hoping he would retire, because then I had this whole grand scheme. I was like, well, if LeBron James does retire, can't we just let him take over to be commissioner of the WNBA? That'd be exciting for everyone involved, right?
Don't let Adam Silver hear that.
Yeah, well, he's too busy now. He's partnered with Hennessy now. We can't.
No, right.
Yeah, we can't. He's already making buku bucks,
and he's got to do his podcasts.
Oh, I forgot. I never showed you. There is a theory that's not really a theory. It's actually a proven thing, where whenever an athlete starts a podcast, their numbers drop.
They're on the court numbers?
On the court, whatever sport they're playing, you can see a drop in them statistically. You get worse at the sport that you're playing by doing a podcast. Someone actually tracked all the stats from when the podcast have like started, and then you can like almost
because the data's pretty easy to plug in like date for date.
Yeah, you can actually pinpoint when the podcast started, and you can see the
and the drop off the cliff.
Sometimes it's not
a bump in the road.
It's a little bit of bump in the road, and then some. You never see them actually return to what their peak numbers were, but you can see that there was a drop, and it's for every single athlete that's ever done a podcast.
Well, that's a good thing our playing days are behind us, I guess.
Yeah, thankfully so. But that's a funny thing I came across a few weeks ago.
That is a very funny stat. It's interesting that it's so consistent. There are no outliers.
None. Every single person, because they tracked LeBron James. He had a bump in the road, got injured. Some JJ Redick dropped. He's one that did kind of. The cliff was there, but he was also at the end of his career. Paul George, we kind of know what happened with.
I mean, there's probably like it's not a causality thing, but like the first wave of sports podcasting from active players came from guys who were maybe older guys who aren't getting starting minutes, who have some free time on their hands every week. The
one that was most surprising to me that had like an actual drop was they tracked Kevin Durant, and you can tell when his podcast started because he did have a slight drop in numbers.
And I mean, it takes up a lot of your attention.
He almost got back there, but he has not returned to the same numbers. But you can tell that he did have a little bit of a drop between before his podcast and after his podcast.
that says something about the state of our economy and things today, where they're like, I still got to make the content.
You have to do something. So I've been taking in a lot of professional athlete content since we've started our podcasting journey, right? For an NBA player, it's like the average day of just an average NBA player is you will go to practice for 2 hours per day.
Yep, in like the afternoon at some point.
Afternoon, morning, whatever it might be, 10 to...
Depending on when your game
10
time
to
is.
noon, 1 to whatever it is, something like that. Sometimes you might have a game, right? So days you don't have a game, you have literally the whole day to you from somewhere between 11 to 2. Anytime after that is just complete free time.
And just don't get into trouble that will make the owners upset.
Correct. And if you do have a game that day, you might do something in the morning or afternoon or whatever, and you don't have to be back to the arena or stadium till 4, 5 o'clock in the evening.
Now, if you're a pro gamer and know the strats, you do have to get a nap in before game time.
A lot of people do like themselves a mid nap.
I mean, that's a powerful move that very few lifestyles accommodate, and it's one of the few luxuries, of being a professional. A midday nap, and you are fully entitled to it. No one can question it.
So for professional athletes, it's like not required, but it's best if you can get 10 hours of sleep per day. And I only know this because there was a Hard Knocks with, I think, the Houston Texans, and they would follow J.J. Watt around. And my man would be legit just have little napping spots. He would take a quick hour nap or whatever just to get to the next meeting or whatever. But he was just kind of sleeping most of the time.
Sure. I mean, yeah, you got to rest up the engine for when you got to rev it up on the weekend.
Any other sporting news you want to talk about while we are here?
I do have to note that we are back in action for the regular season in the NHL, baby, and my Avs are off to a 2-0 start as of recording time.
How does our beloved Utah team look this?
I mean,
this is their first official year, yeah. Second year.
This is their second year. That's their first year as the Utah Mammoth. Last year they played as the Utah Hockey Club.
The brand new rebranding of the team that they stole from us.
Exactly. And they looked, like they're going to probably be pesky and probably competing for a wild card spot out of the Central. The Central is still full of like the heaviest hitters in the NHL between us, the Stars. The Jets are still backed by Connor Hellebuck, who won the MVP last year. That's your top three right there. So good luck finding room in the 4, 5, 6 to try and make the playoff cut.
Mammoth.
Yeah, Mammoth are going to be in there. Wild are going to try and be in there if they... Every contract signing that has happened since the Wild signed Kirill Kaprizov have made them look absolutely stupid for paying $17 million to this guy.
Connor McDavid one is crazy.
Connor McDavid one came soon after, and
because Draisaitl's getting 14.5,
I want to say, which is about market. Like that was the expected market rate for him, was to like kind of set a new benchmark. Yeah, McDavid gave most of the hockey world a little minor heart attack this week when he re-signed for 2 years at $12.5 million, which is basically re-upping for 2 more years on his current deal.
Are they also backed by Aspire or something?
I don't know about
got a Kawhi Leonard deal going on in the back.
No, I don't think it's that so much as the more prevalent theory is that this is very much here's your window for getting me an actual team, and we're getting this cup or I walk at the end of this. Because there will be no more excuses. This is me giving you the hometown discount. Everyone in the hockey world is claiming to be the best deal in sports history. I
mean, the PA is probably a little upset, but also not so much because thank God they have Kaprizov over here.
And the other parallel that everyone was saying was that this is basically the same move that Crosby did for the Penguins to let them extend their cup window. And they got 2 cups out of it on the contract he gave them on the first 8.7 when he was like market set for like 12 or 13.
It's a lucky number now.
This is, McDavid saying, I'm doing everything on my end, including all the production on the ice. So now you guys have to live up to that end too. So big push in the next 2 years for the Oilers, who still have that like pretty good core locked up for like most of this window of 2 or 3 years. But their biggest issue is goalie, and they still haven't solved that one yet.
I'm always curious how they come to these numbers. Like, who approaches who with what number? Is it the player going, okay, I want to win a cup here. Here's the least amount of money I can take. Or is it the management like, this number works best for us to kind of help what's going on around you?
Yeah, I'm sure I imagine GM has to blink first and say a number for like what they're thinking to fit into the cap and everything, and then agent's job is to kind of bump it up.
Yeah, it'd be crazy for him to walk in. I would take 12.5. We were going to give you 13, but cool.
If anything, I'm sure they were offering him 8 and 150 million to be like no, he'd need 160 to be a $20 million player on 8 years. That was the dream for Edmonton, was like to lock him up full time, career legend. But when you're like, all right, let's talk about contract extension, and your star player comes back and says, I think for term, let's say 2 years. You're like, that's less than we'd like, but I guess we can work with that.
I don't know how I'd feel if I am because
it's a really smart move on his part. He will be primed to jump into the biggest set. 3 years from now, the cap's going to be bigger than ever, and he will be the most coveted free agent. He will be like the Peyton Manning of the NHL.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we talked all about him and sort of the ego. How do you handle that you as Captain America are making a little less than what Iron Man is making next to you, and you are sort of the picture perfect guy you are still the face of the organization? That feels odd to me.
It's one of those things that I think is unique to hockey and that sort of Canadian mindset, because you don't see, like, Tom Brady kind of took team-friendly deals for most of his New England tenure, but for the most part, you don't really see guys taking such huge pay cuts to give their team a chance to build a roster.
Where's Kaprizov from?
Russia.
Okay. That makes a little bit more sense. Anyway, Avalanche do look good. Won both of their games, right?
We opened the season on Tuesday night out in LA as the last game of a opening night triple header. We did not drop the puck until a little before 9 p.m. local time. So that was a late one, but that was a solid 4-1 win. My overall assessment of the first 2 games, we also won the home opener, which was against the Mammoth here on Thursday night at Ball Arena. That was a 2-1 victory. Overall assessment, first and third lines looking pretty solid, clicking pretty well right out the gate. The third line put together a real pretty goal that's like on all the highlight reels from last night. And power play a little still getting its feet wet, but I think we got 1 in each game, so we'll take that.
How weird is it to see Gabe Landeskog skate out there?
Did you know that this was his first home opener since 21?
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's why I was saying it's a weird feeling. Like, we don't have nearly as many injuries as we had in the past.
Oh, this is the healthiest we've been to start the year forever. Yeah,
it feels strange. It doesn't feel correct. Like, we see all of our stars out there skating around. It's like, what's
a healthy Josh Manson to start the year has a little edge to him and is willing to throw the body around.
Murdered a guy.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the biggest immediate difference in having the captain back, is this team has grit again. And they stand up to people who are throwing late hits and things of that nature that are unacceptable, because we have some very big guys again, and they're not named Keaton Middleton and don't have to take the bus back to Broomfield after each game because they get sent back down to the Eagles.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we love Keaton Middleton. He's doing anything the organization asks, and you need guys like that.
Do you know how much of a route you have to be to just do dirty work and then take a whole bus ride back?
Yeah, but he's living the dream. He's in the game.
I love this. I'm in this.
I mean, my knees never would have survived to that level of hockey, but that's the dream.
Yeah, somebody's dream. Before we escape here on the sports world, I gave a lot of props out to all the sports podcasts out there. The Denvers, DNVRs, the Gorillas. But Gorillas starting to upset me. Who in their right mind let Woody Page be back on
now that's, mic? Yeah, there's a reason people were not rolling Woody Page out front. Like, hey, everyone.
I do like that, like Tom Green, Ron Zappolo, those are beloved favorites.
That was sort of their strategy coming in. I think they signed a couple of the old buffs too for like the college podcast.
Bring in some old friends.
Absolutely. Ron Zappolo still has it. Woody Page doesn't still have it.
He's got something. My man is going crazy. I forgot how much he's upset me since there's no longer a paper that I read with him as since like the author.
Yeah.
God. Oh my gosh.
I mean, the clips of him, it's like the sports equivalent of the History Channel aliens meme guy.
He's just going insane, just saying whatever it feels like to get like the right clip for whatever reason.
And I mean, I guess maybe that's all he's in it for at this point in the
my
game.
man's over here wishing for Bednar's firing, saying he's not going to make it through the season, which me and you have discussed at length that it's like entirely impossible.
That would be so out of left field for the organization as a whole and like our understanding of how things are in that locker room.
And I guess he must have been either on some substances or really drunk when he's out here comparing the Yankees to the Rockies.
That was also some wild, yeah. The winningest franchise in baseball history by a wide mile.
I can understand what he's trying to say here, but also you can't compare the team that is in the divisional series, right, to the team that has the worst year in the National League.
If they miss the playoffs for 3 years in a row, they consider it an emergency. We would have like 3 playoff appearances max.
Blows my mind. I don't know what's going on over there, but
to me, early onset dementia. He just sees the pinstripes and is like, "Hey, those teams are the same." Look, I remember DJ LeMahieu and Ryan McMahon. Which team do they play for? It's getting hard to tell them apart, isn't it?
Do you know, there is so much baseball history.
Aaron Judge hits home runs like I remember Dante Bichette doing.
There is so much baseball history, and I understand that he has a bunch of Colorado bias with him, but there are so many other teams you could have compared to. It can't be us. We can't be comparable. There's no team that you compare to us.
Nowhere close.
No. Anyway, off my rant in my rocker before I also turn into Woody Page.
Absolutely.
Let's jump into some music and some life experience. Before we jump into the story, I have to tell you.
Oh boy.
Because I can send you the video later.
Oh boy.
We'll touch back on our conversation that we had when we were discussing David. We know sort of you can't go out and do really bad things to mess with an artist, right?
Sure.
Where is the line that you stop being a fan of the artist or you stop messing with them as a whole? Where's that line?
Because sometimes for me, it's just I'm not interested in what they're doing anymore.
That's fair, but that you potentially like some of their stuff, but maybe them as a person, not there's something just not vibing with you anymore.
Sure. Major moral disagreements tend to be a pretty good thing of I'm going to step away from that one.
All right. Well, let me tell you about my experience. So I went to Red Walks last weekend. I went to go see who was one of my favorite artists growing up. His name is Logic.
Okay.
Logic is, he's a very, very, very good rapper, and he's one of the first rappers that came out as being sort of this nerdy kind of guy, which I related to. I was like, he's very talented at what he does. I can relate with him at that level.
Oh, yeah. That's why he's familiar. He's kind of like from my age.
From your era.
He's a couple years younger than me.
Yeah, he's done some cool crossovers with Rick and Morty and some other things and whatnot. He actually has a song with Seth MacFarlane. I was going to say Seth Green, but that's a Robot Chicken guy. Seth MacFarlane, which is also super cool. He's super cool with a lot of different people. Only problem with Logic is he's sometimes doesn't handle criticism so well, and he just crashes out at just what feels like the wrong time. Sometimes. He had a huge crash out because he had a lot of songs about him being biracial. He's black and white mixed. He's very white presenting, I would say, for the most part, and a lot of people were like, this is just a biracial rapper, and he just couldn't handle it anymore and just had a big old crash out. Kind of understand, right? But we went to the show this weekend. It was another good part is the celebration of his first 2 albums, one of which was but it's been 10 years or so from these first 2 drops. Both albums are very, very good, very incredible. But during the show, we are having this whole sort of thing. Also, this was a weird concert. The opener is very, very strange. They had 3 different openers, one of which is an artist signed under his label, one of which was a new upcoming guy that you always have an interesting character.
Yep.
And then there was this DJ band called Supercomputer that started before the first headliner, Oliver Tree. Oliver Tree is a whole different story, and we can get into.
Sounds like it was a long night.
It was a wild ride of a night because you kind of go through this rough ride of the opener is this kind of strange guy, and then you jump down to like the hip hop artist who's good, but his showmanship's not quite there. Supercomputer's super awesome. That they were great.
Fantastic.
Oliver, and then Oliver Tree is just an odd dude in general. I can introduce you to some Oliver Tree. It'll mess with your mind. It'll be a great time. And then we jump to Logic, who is what a lot of people are there for.
Yeah,
starts having a good show, whatever. Show starts to come sort of dwindle down here. This is the longest show I've ever had at Red Rocks.
Sure.
So by the time he was on stage, it was already
hour 4.
So he was on stage at 10. Most concerts at Red Rocks end at 11-ish.
Yeah.
I think they gave him till midnight because it was a Saturday.
Sure.
So around that 11 o'clock, 11:30 mark, the show, you kind of feel a little bit of a shift. He starts to give out free things. He's really doing the show to promote his new movie that's coming out. He's also an author and now a director.
Oh, interesting.
His movie has Kevin Smith actually directed his movie, in fact.
Oh.
So he has a bunch of cool people in that. But around the 11:30 mark, things start to get a little bit weird because people, by now, we're 4.5 hours into the show, right? People are starting to tune out. It's windy and cold because Red Rocks being open, very beautiful venue.
But it is fall in Colorado.
And people start to be on their phones and whatnot. And he just wants people to pay attention.
Oh, boy.
And someone in the very first row made the mistake of pulling out his phone and to text his girlfriend. Whoa. And Logic, in the middle of his rap, stops, says, hold up, and says, what the are you doing? We'll bleep that out.
Okay.
What are you doing? And he's like, who are you? Who is so important that you're texting him right now, right in the middle of my set? You don't understand how hard this is. And I, of course, am in the crowd like, this is
highly unprofessional,
odd. And also the dude, he puts the dude on camera. He's like, it's my girlfriend. He's like, do you love her? It's like,
yeah, inappropriate.
Yeah. He's like, all right, that's fine then. But you don't understand how hard this is. Cause like, can you please just pay attention to this show? We only have like 30 more minutes to go. And I was like, I
need you to be making eye contact with me while I do the music.
Yeah. And then like, yeah, like,
that's silly. That's silly and childish.
It is, and it made me feel a type of way because he, like I said, he is an incredible artist. Like he is probably one of the best rappers when he wants to be, when he's not being petty and doing some other things. But it's all the crash outs and whatnot that he has it detracts so much from him, so much from his talent.
Yeah, hard to keep around with someone who's like...
And it's such an awkward experience, not only for the people that were at the concert, but the dude there, and he got posted on...
Yeah,
on all the platforms.
I paid money to come be here. Yeah, and maybe not for you, maybe for like one of the 4 other acts that was on.
Yeah, I can't defend him. There's like no defending it at all.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. It would leave a bad taste in my mouth too.
It did. Gives me conflicted feelings about him and just in general overall now. So that was a cool experience that I had to see another one of my cool artists that I like to listen to.
You're having a rough year on your library.
It's been a rough couple of months in my likes. It's gotta undownload some albums, unfortunately.
Whoops.
Yeah. So that's where my headset and my mindset was, and that's what I did last week. How was your I hope your music experience been better.
My week has been largely, if we want to transition, my week has largely been focused on playing Ghost of Yotei.
Please give us the on hands review. What are we thinking so far? I assume you're probably not very far in because that is it's a very large map and you do not have a whole lot of quick.
Well, so I will say I am at this, for reference in my review here, I am at about 25 hours in. And PlayStation says I'm about 26% of the way through the game.
If you're going to do completion. So you're probably, are you doing all the side quests and everything?
So that's part of the fun of the game. It's
side quests.
It's a pretty genius gameplay loop that they've developed here. And it's very easy to get into just doing all of the little side quests because they've designed the world in such a way that they are all kind of adjacent to each other and feed themselves back into a loop in a way that's just really easy to get lost in going out, and I'll collect all these bounties, and while I was out getting this bounty, there was a little shrine, and the shrine gives me another thing to unlock on my skill tree, so I'll go pray at the shrine, and sweet, there's a fox, and if you follow the foxes, they lead you to treasure, so you go follow a fox, and then a gold bird comes along and leads you to another thing, and then by then you've knocked out like 7 little mini side quests on your way looping back to go turn in the bounty, and then you turn in the bounty and get some money.
Admiral Akbar would say it's a trap.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very good trap. I've fallen right into it, and I think this definitely gives me the vibes of when Skyrim released, of it being like, oh, this is a game that people will sink hundreds of hours into, and that you can probably replay a few dozen times and still be pretty satisfied with it every single time. If you at all like the action of like the samurai sword play, and this one goes into some like a pretty wide variety of other weapon types as well and other gameplay styles. You can play it as sneaky as you want. You can play it as straight up duelist as you want. It's very fun and just kind of open to, it's like, here's just a bunch of guys, kill them however you want, and we'll teach you some fun new ways along the way.
It's a tough comparison. Like, the first one is already like very highly revered.
It is.
I personally just have a tough time playing through another action game without as much of like a decision tree or whatnot, but that is just me. I know a lot of people, it's almost like playing a movie for a lot of these games, and Sony does an excellent job with their main titles for the most part.
Sure. And this one is 100% cinematic. I will say, so there's like Ghost of Tsushima did, there was an Akira Kurosawa mode that puts it all in black and white and ups the wind effects and everything. That has made a return in Yotei. They've also included a couple other renowned directors. I highly recommend turning on I think it's the Watanabe mode, which gives you Samurai Champloo director composed lo-fi beats for when you're wandering around.
I do like that.
It's so sick to just be like wandering around this gorgeous landscape with the little lo-fi, and they are of that like Samurai Champloo style, but they are all unique compositions for this game, which is extra fun too. It takes all the good things that were from Ghost of Tsushima, which I did not play, but I saw a lot of reviews, a lot of gameplay footage of, and just kind of did like the quality of life improvements to make it even easier. Fast travel when you go. So instead of it being like, oh, at each different like city or location that you find, there's like a whole new set of merchants. It's just like, oh, here's the bow lady, here's your armor guy, here's the bounty guy, and they pop up at every new location you end up in because everyone's moving around in this world. So you just kind of build this same relationship with like the same merchants while you're leveling up. They throw you a quest every once in a while, and it all just adds into the loop of like there's something to do. Here's the other note I was going to say about because these games are also of a notorious difficulty level, but Ghost of Yotei has helpfully included a casual baby mode that I have been enjoying quite thoroughly, so that I don't have to get good at this very hard combat system.
Hey, I don't remember what I did with Tsushima. I think I might even try to play it on hard, and I was like, this is...
So, and it's the sort of thing that the more I'm playing it, I am like slowly learning the system, so I am going to, after I finish a playthrough, go back and like try and do higher difficulty levels. But as far as like for a gamer of my age, I have to preface, I have only minimal windows sometimes for gaming, and this is a game that really respects that. You can hop in, get a really like, whether it's 15 minutes, an hour, or like 3 hours, I can feel like I did a nice little chunk of something to progress the story and like make the rest of the game easier, kind of no matter what. And you're in, out very easily. All the systems are designed to make it very smooth and enjoyable to knock quests out.
What is more important for you when you're going into sort of a gaming world? Is it better to have a good gameplay, or is it better to have a great story?
Great story can carry wonky gameplay for me, but the smoothest gameplay will not save a terrible story for me. I won't play an awful writing game even if it has a good feedback loop, at least not happily.
It's interesting. I know I mean, this is sort of the divide between
for
all
sure.
gamers.
And I understand for sure. I am in a like certain, probably not the majority of opinion when I say that, because I am one of the people who does not skip text box in games. I do like to read the dialogue. I do like to read the little journals and whatnot.
You read all the little journals?
Most of the time, yeah.
No,
Someone wrote them and put them there for a reason.
I like a thing, cool, close.
Yeah.
I do read the text boxes, and it's much nicer if it's even read to me. I love that.
Voice acting is always appreciated.
But reading all the journals and the data entries, absolutely not. That is far too many. Too many.
I know that's not the normal choice.
It also does not help that I am a below average reader according to my SATs.
Oh, yeah.
And it takes me...
That is one of our few divides where our Venn diagrams are on completely opposite spectrums. I was an award-winning reader.
I am not a very good reader. I am a very good logic and math kind of guy, and I get made fun of. My significant other makes fun of me quite a lot because the way when she shows me something and it's like...
Your partner, the English major?
Yeah, she looks at me and I know she's already laughing because something that takes her 30 seconds to read takes me about a minute and a half. And she's just waiting for me to process all this knowledge that she already has. It's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, but overall, you enjoying the game.
Ghost of Yotei, I think, is going to be a Game of the Year contender. I think, like I said, I would probably say best PS5 exclusive in that lineup so far. Because I did full disclosure to the listener, I did have to go ahead and get a PS5 to play this game because it is a PS5 exclusive. And I would say it was probably worthwhile for that. The game is that good. But yeah, because the other PS5 exclusives currently have been like the Final Fantasy remakes as they've been coming out, but they don't stay exclusive.
Yeah, kind of. I think that is true for the most part. Yeah.
The next big one that's going to be PS5 exclusive on release is going to be the Marvel Wolverine game. Did you see the trailer for that one?
I've seen bits and pieces of the trailer. I need to still play the other Spider-Man that's been sitting in his package.
Spider-Man Miles Morales, or Spider-Man 2?
Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
I still have Spider-Man 2 from 2 Christmases ago, still wrapped up in the cellophane.
Oh boy.
Unbroken, because it's one of those games where it's just all the story, and I have to really sort of be ready to dive in. I have not done so, and I want to give the game the respect it deserves because I know it's a really good game.
Did you play the original?
I did. I've played both the original and Miles Morales.
Okay, yeah, because I would say those ones are also of a pretty of a close level of design in terms of like the gameplay loop of. It's a big open world that's kind of fun to just traverse around, but also if you stop and like interact with the interactable stuff that there is, it tends to pay off in one way or another.
Yeah, I like to go do all the little challenges and whatnot because I try to max my Spidey out as much as possible because
it's fun. It makes the rest of the game easier.
We also have different missions. You like to go for the fun and for the whole story. I'm trying to be as strong as possible to make the game as easy as I can along the way.
For sure. I mean, hey, that's why I start on casual baby mode.
Yeah, I start normal usually, and occasionally I'll bump up to hard, but usually not. Sometimes I'll go down if the game is just going to be miserable to me. The one gaming mistake I made earlier was I tried to play the Personas on hard. Absolutely not.
Yeah, that was a bold decision to start the Persona series on hard mode.
I've never played the Persona series, didn't know what was happening, and I said, you know what? I'm a gamer. How hard can this baby game possibly be?
I can push my head through any wall.
Yeah, it did. I was so good for the first 2 levels. The 3rd level, I was like, I've spent literally 3 days here.
Oh no. Yeah, that's not what the game intended, I'm sure.
No, I was grinding so hard in the dungeons. Yeah. I was like, this is all pain.
Because that's definitely like the lesson I learned pretty early on in my gaming career. It was like, at what point does this become stop being fun and just become a chore?
It really felt like it. I think I had to take a break for a while.
I got to put in like 4 hours on the GameCube today and just grind these numbers, man.
Rock uphill, man.
I hate these fucking guys, but I need the XP, and these are the only things I can get it from.
You know, it's like I stop playing a game once I start to be upset with my own character. Just like I can't stand looking at you anymore.
Yeah, you need to stay in your save file and think about what you've done.
Yeah, I'll come back to you later if I get back to you. Only problem with Ghost of Yotei being Game of the Year is this week Pokemon releases on Thursday.
Oh yes, this coming Thursday, the 16th. So now that's a bold claim because new Pokemon games, I would say this has been the most or the least critically favorable time to be a fan of Pokemon.
It's tough. There's a lot more variety in the Pokemon era than there used to be, because it used to just be the main base games, which it feels like we get very seldom anymore.
Those are on like a 5-year development
if
cycle
not
now.
More with DLC and whatnot being a thing now. That
I guarantee the next mainline games will be Switch 2 exclusive. They will not be backwards compatible.
Yeah, because we're not going to get them for 3 years.
Exactly, because they will want to develop it fully on the Switch 2 hardware, which they could not do on this next release, which is part of why I think it's going to underwhelm some people. I'm still going to get it. I'm still going to play it. I'm still probably going to enjoy it, but we will have a report on that for next time probably.
Yeah,
we'll see how many hours you and I can get in between release date and recording time. At our current schedule, it won't be much.
Yeah. Sleep. Do we need to sleep between Thursday and Friday?
Debatable.
Yeah.
That's what coffee's for.
No.
Sip.
No. That is not what coffee's for. What else would you like to talk about this week? Let's
see here. What other notes did I put down? While we're in the middle of October here, I thought we could maybe call out some of our favorite Halloween and fall recommendations for viewing and throwing on the tube. And you know what season it is when it's October, and that's Over the Garden Wall season, baby.
Yep, everyone in the household here loves them some Over the Garden Wall, and if you are an animation person and a spooky person, you know what Over the Garden Wall is.
If not, though, boy, do we have a show for you.
It's a beautiful masterpiece of, 12 or 16 episodes?
12 episodes of about 15 minutes each, classic, like a tight little short story of animation, really, of two brothers lost in the woods trying to find their way back home.
Like I said, we watch it every year. It
is tradition at this point. We are on year, am I doing the math right on this? 11, 12, 11. This is a 2014 creation.
I think I started in college. I watched it. My first time watching was my junior year of college, I think. Junior or senior year of college.
That checks out.
And I've been watching it every spooky season since then.
Pretty much a masterpiece of seasonal, it is perfect for autumn, dark, the sun sets early and you put on Over the Garden Wall, and you can finish all 12 episodes in one night if you want, but it's kind of fun to space them out a little bit too and get all the fun little musical ditties. Once you've heard them, you can never forget. I'm the Highwayman.
I forget them every single time, but I'm not the one for musicals, so
the melodies will stick with you forever. And family friendly too is the fun part. It's fine for all ages.
It's good.
It's a little spooky for maybe tiny babies, but that's about it.
It really is for all ages, young and old. They'll love it.
Indeed. And my other, I think, and this is one that came out earlier this year, but we haven't been talking about movies since then. Did you catch Sinners?
It is on our list to watch for this spooky season.
Okay,
I've been kind of been waiting and saving it, and also the time. Like I said, it's tough to sit. To find time to sit in 2.5 hours. For
sure. Sinners, if for those unfamiliar, the new Ryan Coogler movie from earlier this year featuring Michael B. Jordan.
What's better than one Michael B. Jordan?
2 Michael B. Jordans.
3 Michael B. Jordan.
That's for the next one.
Okay.
Sinners 2.
The B. Jordaning.
But yeah, Sinners, a movie about twin brothers who come back to their small Mississippi sharecropper town to start up their own juke joint, and the wild night that ensues. And I won't spoiler any more of it. You do know the twist, though. I mean, it's like not a very well-kept secret. They kind of spoil it in the marketing. It's a vampire movie.
Yeah, it's a supernatural movie for sure. Also won many awards this year.
It's a great film. I mean, a great twin performance, just from a technical point of view. That's kind of tough to do, like acting opposite yourself, which Michael B. Jordan has to do a lot in this one.
It does kind of drive you a little crazy.
Yeah, it can be difficult, but great performances all throughout. A nice little ode to the musical history of America, and do be sure to stay after the credits for the full ending.
Loving a secret bonus there at the end.
Yes, absolutely. Any other? No, we can keep this as an open topic as well for the rest of October.
Yeah. While we're here on the movies, do I have any other spookies? Question: Is Batman a Halloween movie?
Ooh, which one?
Batman, we'll say the one I usually think of as like a Halloween movie personally, Batman Begins.
Batman Begins. Is that the Tim Burton one?
No.
Let me
that
see.
one is the one with Killian. The first one, Killian.
Oh, the first Nolan of the Nolan verse. Okay. Yeah, no. With Scarecrow, I can see that as a pretty good.
Only because it reminds me so much of my nerdiness. The Long Halloween is what it feels very much like.
Oh, yes. It is absolutely based on the Long Halloween storyline, for sure. That is a good pull. I was going to say the Tim Burton one from the 90s because it is Tim Burton.
Get your Batman and Robin in.
Yeah. That one is less Halloween-y, I would say.
I would say that's more Halloween-y. Look at these costumes.
I don't know. Tim Burton's got all the goth makeup going on. So that's your weird Danny DeVito penguin.
Yeah. Oof. I would say the new one as well feels very Halloween-esque, kind of spooky season-esque.
Oh,
with Pattinson, which is a hot take, is my favorite Batman I think they've ever done.
I think he's done the most interesting take on the young Bruce Wayne.
I like the Tim Burton ones for the nostalgia feeling. I like
all the 90s ones were different levels of camp.
Very, very much so.
And it was fun for the first part, but then it took a little while before we started taking him seriously as a character.
I like the Nolan ones, but they don't ever feel like a superhero movie to me.
Yeah, the Nolan verse is sort of metaphysical, not super physical. It's in the same way Inception is like a sci-fi thing, but it's not like super out of reality. It's like, I don't know. It's got a few wrinkles to it, but it's still fairly grounded. It is,
which like I said, I do like it, but it's not my favorite. It's a lot of people's favorites though, for the Batman verse. But the Pattinson one kind of hits that sweet spot of being sort of between the two. It has sort of the grounded aspect of being like a Nolan movie, but also is campy enough and superhero-ish enough that it fills both my needs.
Let it be a little bit more superhero-y in the Pattinson verse for sure. Which we're getting the one more that's in production, Batman 2, that is still in the works. I think they've almost finished writing the script and then are going to film it. But then we've got the whole shakeup over at DC with James Gunn taking over there, and that the Pattinson Batman is not going to be in the extended DC verse.
Yeah, I can see where he doesn't fit in, because we did get Superman this year to kind of get just a little taste of what our
new flavor of DC.
Yeah, our Gunverse is going to look like.
Yeah.
We throw away the rest. I know he tried to do his thing. I don't know how much he tried to do his thing with Flash. I think he was just trying to hope and pray.
Oh no, Flash was just a standing commitment that they had to get in the can and done past the finish line, and it was like, okay, we got that out of our system. Time to start fresh.
Yeah, but what he's done with the Superman, which the new one is, the old ones also have a place in my heart. The ones with Christopher Reeves.
Yeah,
but this one was great. Probably the best Superman movie there is out there. I would go to say.
I would rank it, I think, tops of Superman movies. It certainly beats Man of Steel.
Yeah, the Man of Steel one was fun and fine.
In general, I liked the Superman performance, but it was a weird choice.
I forgot. I kind of completely forgot about that movie, and now that I'm here reliving it, it's a wild ride.
The Zod fight was kind of a weird turn for it to take in Act 3 of Man of Steel, and then put him in a weird spot for the rest of that movie universe. So, but yeah, this one really set a fun tone for what the DC universe was going to be. Took the big swing of coming out with Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, admirably played by Nathan Fillion.
We know that I think there's going to be a lot more lanterns roaming around.
The Lanterns are getting their own TV series similar to Peacemaker, I think. And that seems to be the new model in general, is to do your lore building in the TV series now for the ultra nerds to binge, and then
the one that I find
keep the movie release a little lighter and more family friendly.
Yeah, the one that I find most interesting that they have on the list is the horror Clayface that they're going to do.
Yeah, they're going to do two Clayface projects back to back. I think they're both going to be Alan Tudyk.
Yes, he will always play Clayface in the Gunverse.
Which will be, yes, a fantastic performance kind of exercise for him to do the full range between the highly comedic. I mean, he does 3 versions of Clayface, although is the funny one's going to be like the animated? Is that going to be a spin-off of the Harley Quinn one?
Yeah, that one's more like that.
And yeah, because that's the very comedy, lighthearted Clayface, and then he's going to get to do a much more the horrors of being a man who has no form.
Yeah, and he's already done another one of a more serious Clayface in what's the one with all the monsters?
With all the monsters. Not Suicide Squad?
It's Suicide Squad adjacent. Amanda Waller also is in control of this group. I'll tell you here in 1 second.
Interesting.
Creature Commandos.
Creature Commandos. That I have never heard of before.
If you have not checked it out, go check it out. It's very much worthwhile. It's his kind of the Harley Quinn show doesn't really need much more to it. It already was good on its own merit.
Yeah.
But that being Gunn's first DC animation project, incredible. More than worth the watch.
Okay, that's a good recommendation. We'll add that to the list.
Also good for the Halloween, for all the creatures in the Commandos.
Okay, perfect. There you go. Well, fantastic. Yeah, I think that was all I had for Halloween. Oh, I think another one that can fit in for Halloween season, and also in the category of movies that marketed themselves as horror but ended up being less raw horror. Cabin in the Woods.
I always forget that movie kind of exists out there.
It's a fun one. It was I think if I remember from the behind the scenes, because it's also like from that 2014 era. It's like a decade old already.
It's a weird non-horror movie.
It's a Joss Whedon production, which, if you remember the first Avengers movie or Buffy the Vampire Slayer, that's Joss Whedon. He is kind of canceled in the industry now, but at the time, before he was canceled.
Back to how we started the rant here.
Yep. He was producing quite a lot of popular takes on media that were kind of subversive in the form, and Cabin in the Woods definitely fits that, where it sets up for what feels like it's going to be sort of a cliche summer teen horror story of like 4 friends going to camp or going out into the woods to stay at a cousin's cabin or something, a cabin in the woods, and then plays into all those tropes with a whole nother meta layer of reveal that this is in fact a secret organization that has to organize these very the steps that it goes through are important for the ritual sacrifice.
Fair enough.
And you get the turn in Act 3, so it's not that big a spoiler anymore, again, for this decade-old movie.
Spoilers!
You got to have the spoiler, just know that we're not going to censor ourselves on this show, apparently. But yeah, a very fun turn at the end to go out of horror and kind of into more action comedy at the very end.
And because it is spooky season, you have to go watch the scary movies.
I think so. I will be honest. I caught Scary Movie 1 and 2. Two was okay for the time, and I don't bet it has aged very well.
They do not age well.
They're so full of just of that era references and whatnot that it can't be observed 6 months past their release date.
No, they do not hold up, but they are still.
If you want to look at some old expired garbage, you can put on the Scary Movie series, which has continued to keep going, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they stopped. I think they stopped
how many
at
did they get up to?
6, 5 or 6, maybe 4. I do know 4 exists, but I don't know 5 or 6 exists.
A 6th film is in development.
Because I think that the Marlon was talking about that amongst
God.
his run of him.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, so that's fun. Yeah, Scary Movie 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah. And then filming 6 as we speak. Started earlier this year. That'll be out probably for Halloween of next year. Maybe before then.
Depends which approach they take. We know a movie can be filmed in 15 days.
They're going to have some special effects to bake into this one for sure.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you're right. You're true.
Yeah. Very good. Anything else we need to cover this week?
No, I think we'll save the other of my topics for another date.
Very good. Did I have anything I wanted to sneak back in for this week? Any takes on Taylor's album? Do we want to get in with the Swifties? Did you listen at all?
No, I did not listen at all. I think I've heard bits and pieces in everyone's posts and reels and whatever else that's out there in the world. I know enough about the album that I know it's
too much.
A little bit. I know there's a split in Taylor fans because there's this Taylor stans that are gonna love whatever she does.
The ride or dies.
And then there's like the people who are Taylor fans, but they also enjoy a certain level of music and realize that this is not of this level.
There is definitely a little bit of a disconnect. Like, as someone who's pretty neutral about Taylor Swift, I did go ahead and give it a listen, and it is just kind of mid.
That's what a lot of people are saying, unfortunately.
And takes some weird tones as someone who's not even like into all of the Charlie XCX diss track, the Travis Kelce innuendo track. It's just like kind of not real banging music and doesn't have many memorable ones. The best track is the one that she does with Sabrina Carpenter, and it's because it's got Sabrina Carpenter on it. That's my review of Life of a Showgirl, whatever it was called.
I think that is
nailed it in one.
I was going to say, I just see it every time I go to Target. Now,
it is unfortunate, the critical reception, considering how much money they have put into the advertising campaign for this thing.
Well, the one thing I always find this very interesting. They still put out CDs and things like that.
Vinyls came back in a big way.
The vinyls of that at our local Target here are almost like nearly gone.
Yeah.
Which I'm not shocked of. But CDs and stuff, what are we doing?
It is a little wild to still be doing the CDs. DVD, like Blu-ray, I can still see the argument for.
That one is tough. That is tough. Anything disc related is tough anymore because I don't even have a disc drive in my PC anymore.
I mean, that is a disappearing form. That's what the consoles get to do now with their disc drives, if you still have one in your machine.
Which I used to be upset about, but now I'm just kind of like, I'm doing everything digital anyway.
But as someone who has seen some beloved bits of content disappear from the streaming environment and then be like, oh, you just can't get that online anywhere anymore because no one wants to buy the rights to it, it's still pretty handy to have physical copies of your beloved media to have in case of emergency.
I have a conversation about that topic in our list of notes.
Oh, actually. Fantastic. For the old heads.
For the old heads.
Wonderful. Well, then I think we can call it a week.
Sounds good. With that being said, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to 321 Presents and sticking around with us. If you have been listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please go ahead and give us a 5-star review. You made it all the way here. You must have enjoyed it. And if you didn't, leave us a comment. Tell us why, or tell us what your favorite bit was. Tell us what we need to talk more about or less about. All that good stuff. You might have also heard this podcast on YouTube over at 321 Pods, where we would love you to like and subscribe the channel. That's always helpful to us to get the pod out to new ears, fresh listeners, which we're always going for. And last bit, you got to remember to catch all your 321 Productions info, news, latest episodes. Catch Denicio's Twitch link on the homepage at 321pods.com. And I think that takes care of everything on the call to action.
We will see you guys next week. Let's see how angry Woody Page makes me this next week with his takes.
What this old man can say in 1 week. We'll find out next time.
Adios.
Adios.